Are you in communication with any of the recovery groups that are still looking for bodies?
You won't. So you can edit this.
It's our personal
I'm gonna say this.
You're fine with it being on camera?
I don't care. I'm just saying. It is what it is.
Okay.
You will never find everybody who's missing.
Right.
You will not find all the livestock that is missing.
Yep.
There is. I guarantee you. I'd almost be willing to give you my left arm for it. There's bodies that's buried up under this silt. There's bodies that's in these lakes that's been washed down hills. You'll never find them. You'll never get 100% count out of them. There's going to be a snow melt come this spring off the top of the mountains. It's going to cause a lot of water in these creeks. You're going to find remains. There's no doubt about it.
It's a bit of an eerie clip that I played for you guys a couple months ago, and I did get some backlash for it from some people who just don't take this stuff seriously. So it's been a few months since we played that video for you. I'd like you to see yesterday's news.
In North Carolina, a body found on the banks of the French Broad River in Buncombe County. The Woodfin Police Department says 2 men were fishing in the river when they saw the body. At the scene, responders found the body wrapped in debris and mud. The body was removed and taken to the North Carolina Medical Examiner's Office for examination and identification. That investigation is ongoing. We'll keep you updated here and on WSPA.com.
The reality of Western North Carolina is that what happened there was absolutely horrific. And I don't know that you can really change what has happened. I've been out there for a lot of the recovery efforts, and I've seen a lot of good things happening. I've seen people take this as an opportunity to grow and do considerable things with what they have left, with new resources that have come in. I do know that it's been hard for people. We've had so many natural disasters in the U.S. since Hurricane Helene. A lot of people just aren't even paying attention to the folks out there in Western North Carolina anymore. I got a phone call from one of the nonprofits we've worked with saying that they were running short on funds, but the demand for their services is still very strong following the hurricane. So I recognize that there are a lot of challenges out there. And I wanted to play that at the beginning of this video today because I had prepared for you guys a little update on what we've been doing. And when I heard that news yesterday, and I thought back about that clip and that interview we had done, it just really kind of sunk in the tragedy and reminded me of why we're out there, why we've been doing the things that we've been doing.
When Helene sent pouring rain down on these mountains, peaceful streams turned into raging rivers, leaving behind rocky ground where there was once fertile soil. The good news, there are mountains of help just 200 miles away.
Getting the compost to the mountains is kind of like moving a mountain to the mountains.
Charlie Rankin is a neighbor first and a farmer second. And when Hurricane Helene hit more than 6 months ago, he wanted to help right away.
A lot of farms in the Western North Carolina mountains that have had to just completely close up.
Hey there, friends. The truck I'll be following today is hauling grass.
Charlie and his wife run a nonprofit called Meet My Neighbor Productions, which they started to educate people about agriculture and connect consumers with where their food comes from. For Charlie, watching farmers struggle was personal.
I had heard the stories of Western North Carolina, but I didn't necessarily put it in perspective until I went out there.
Many farms lost valuable soil this year due to the record-setting rainfall produced by Helene. Through his nonprofit, Charlie bought compost for farmers from Brooks Contractors, but there were challenges along the way.
1,000 cubic yards is a lot of dump trucks. We knew the challenge was going to be getting the compost out there.
Working with Brooks was just fantastic. They were so quick to respond, so eager to help. Came out here on a Saturday morning.
Kavita Hardy is the executive director of Dig In Yancey Community Garden. Elevation, just under 3,000 feet. One of the many farms in Yancey County impacted by the torrential rainfall.
There's a creek right along the road that overflowed its banks. A lot of sand was deposited and some of the topsoil washed away there.
Dig In
That looks like about the right width.
works with the community to grow and share the food from the moment it's planted to the point it's picked. And then even sets up tables at food sharing markets where folks can get the food they grow for free.
We like to say that access to fresh food is a right and not a privilege, and that we grow food for anybody who eats food, which is everybody.
But funding has been rescinded for some federally funded food programs this year, and Hardy is concerned about the impact to her community.
There's a lot to be seen about how that both impacts our community's access to fresh food, but also the outlets that farmers have in order to sell their food and feed their communities, which is really unfortunate at this moment where folks are really trying to rebuild and make it as farmers.
Despite the uncertainty, Hardy has found hope. Hope that was planted in the fall and is just starting to sprout.
You know, you're doing it at this moment where everything is looking dead and rejected, and you are getting together and planting it and trusting that you will be there and the garlic will be there the next season.
In Yancey County, Tom Einers, Spectrum News 1.
This will get used within the next month, so it's not a big deal exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And I'll put a tarp over it also.
Over the past several months, Meet My Neighbor Productions has trucked and delivered over 1,000 cubic yards of compost in addition to hay, grain, chicken tractors, grow towers, feed, and other immediate needs to help Western North Carolina farmers provide critical, local, and nutritional food to their communities.
From the bottom of our heart, we thank everyone who's donated and helped out.
This is a game changer. We're very grateful.
Meet My Neighbor Productions, or MMNP as we call it, is a nonprofit we created to support our farming and rural communities.
It takes a lot to feed a whole community of people. The lettuce that you ate was grown right there. Like, you cannot get more local than that.
Since its inception, MMNP has been community funded, enabling us to focus on stories without the prejudice of the government or large foundations.
You don't understand how big your documentary is. Your documentary changes everything across an entire nation.
Meet My Neighbor Productions has grown from a small farm series to documentaries ranging from the coast of Maine to the mountains of British Columbia all the way down to the panhandle of Texas, supporting farms and educating the consumer.
Yeah, farming's in trouble. Those times are gone. And the small farmers, pretty much gone.
While the rest of the world is fighting to destroy rural livelihoods, we're striving to educate the public and ensure the strength of our rural communities.
There's nothing more real than growing up on a ranch. You know, you get to see the life.
Our documentaries have opened eyes, our Rural Youth Fund has opened doors to new frontiers, and our Relief Fund has saved communities. People just started coming out of the woodwork to help. So it's a pretty exciting thing to see so many organizations just come together, and especially so many people from 200 miles away.
Take action now and click the link below this video.
Corporations are, filling your shelves and refrigerators, and you don't know what's in it. You don't know how it's been produced. When I was a kid, my folks took stuff to town, butter, milk, whatever they had that they didn't need themselves, and sold it. And it was fine, and people wanted it. And, now you can't do that. It's got to be inspected and labeled and processed. And anyway, it's a different world, and those times are gone. And the small farmers, pretty much gone.
Guys, look at the bigger picture here. When you look across the world and you hear the stories coming out of everywhere from Europe to Australia, the United States, what we're doing, the work we're doing, is extremely important. We have got to educate the public and fight back. With your help, we can take this whole thing to the next level.